Welcome back, everyone. This will be kind of a fun one. I've wanted to open up this football. It's got a Packers team set, but then it also has a bunch of other 45 other cards. So that'll be kind of interesting. We're going to kick it off. 2008 Press Pass hangers. We're going to see how difficult to make these to get in for us. Let's start ripping. So let's see if there's any odds listed as we go. I do like this year already, though. You can see we got a Matt Forte rookie. Keith Rivers. Marquee matchups. DJ Hall and Doucette. It's a cool one. And Glenn Dorsey. I mean, that's not too bad either. We'll sleeve up Matt Forte quick. And then that marquee matchups we should see real quick. Marquee matchups, 20 card insert, 1 out of 3. So not, you could probably pause that, snapshot it, and zoom in. That's what we're getting, right? That's what all we can do. Andrew Woodson, Vernon, Matt Forte again. Insider Insight. And a Chad Henne. Oh. For those that like him, 2 in a row. You're going to make it 3 in a row? Felix Jones, Glenn Dorsey. Again, not bad rookies. Deshaun Jackson. And Caldwell. So that's a cool card. Mr. Humble Deshaun Jackson. I think that's what he's known for, isn't he? Just because we have this one, we'll just throw this Matt Forte up there. Well, at least those we got to rip through pretty easily. Again, whenever I do some of these products, I always like to use these press pass, these kind of a warm-up rip, right? Saw Chad Henne already on the top here. Hawkins. Mario Manningham. And McKelvin. Well, that was still a nice little mix. The dude said DJ Hall, not crazy. The Henne we probably could throw on there. So there it is. Let's get to the future. I know I do have some of that Flair Showcase as well, so we have a good variety in this one. You know, I'm trying to figure out how the heck they even have this thing put together. We're just going to have to... They literally don't have a place for this top to pop off or the bottom to come out. That's why I'm going nuts right now. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to get this thing open. We know their goal seems to be for me to injure myself at some point. Or ruin the cards for that matter. All right, that looks like a refractor. Boy. They're sure protecting these team sets, aren't they? There we go. I'm going to flip this off here. You know, I had thought this was going to be like a cool little storage thing when we got done. But no longer. I thought it was going to be a cool little stand or something. So let's do this center one first because I wonder if this is that Packers team set. Our Brooks, Butler, there's some Jones, Reggie White, Leroy Butler, and the Bowman. And then these must be the other. I mean, so that's really not the team set, but I mean, there's a bunch of the team in there. Jack Del Rio, Lee Davis, Hawkins, Kevin Carter. Looks like they're throwing. Kenny Clark. Going old school with that one, huh? The cool old Bowman. The old Bowman. Aaron Glenn. And Armstrong. I mean, that was... So these actually have, like, yeah, that was what we saw in the back. The draft pick. I mean, besides for the corners were beat up on this one a little bit. You know, not too much crazy in there. I mean, you got your Favre. It's kind of a team set, but not really, because usually they're... I mean, maybe that is the whole team set out of there. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. So, well, let's see what else they threw in. I mean, that was kind of cool they threw that one in there. Rob Johnson, SP. Ski. Gene Robinson. Russell Cope. Boy, classic. I can honestly say 93. I've opened a lot of classic. I have not seen this classic draft one. Can't say I've definitely never opened it. Well, for sport, I think we all can have flashbacks and nightmares about that. Steve Ehrlein. Let's say that card was sticking. Terry Allen is in there. Stokes. Interesting. Well, you got one more stack, and then I'm opening the Flair Showcase. So this is the one, yeah, I mean, the Bowman Refractor. Just a little bit on that corner up there. But it's a refractor. You don't see, these were not easy pulls back then. 1995. For the Haas team in sports. Ooh, looks like a bunch of classic in here. Ellis DeMarco, Rob Johnson, Newsom, Brockmeyer, Ed V. Well, maybe not so bad. Warren Sapp, John Walsh, Craig Powell, Fields, Brent Haas, Napoleon Kaufman, Warren Sapp again. Ruben Brown. And Dave Barr. Well, I can tell you, I'm pretty happy with these two. It is classic, but still. And then I am still opening Flair Showcase. I wanted to get a good variety of years. Boy, this is such a cool one, though. I did like those. Lots of shiny cards up here today. Some old shiny ones. All right, to end it off. So what did I open? 1, 2, so I can pick 4. Technically 6 if I count this as one, but the Flair Showcase. So I knew these were going to be cool packs. Trying to look for the odds. Not much on there, but these are hobby packs. So going to be super sharp cards, as we can see. So Julius Jones. I do not know who that quarterback is. Osman? I'm sure one of you pros in here will know. Showcase star Sean Alexander. It's basically an insert. Ernest Coles, And Eli Manning. I am going to just throw that one in the sleeve right away. Still not a bad one. That Shaun Alexander is a... Usually, these other ones, they'll show the pack odds, so we can actually see what the odds were on pulling these ones. But I guess since it's a hobby. All right, let's see if we can get a big hit in this last one. I don't know what's in there, but I put them both in the back here. Brown. We got Carr. Wave of the Future. Ronnie Brown. Whoa, fresh ink. Was not expecting that. Leon Washington. Well, I vaguely remember that name. Like I said, it's kind of interesting, besides not having a TV for like a decade or more of my life. It's interesting when you watch football back, you know, when I was in, high school, college. We only ever watched the Vikings, and you only got caught up with SportsCenter. So, for me, unless it was division, when you're playing, the teams that you're familiar with, you didn't really get to see a lot of these other guys as much. And I didn't research. I didn't, like I said, I bought cards. I wasn't like the guru. So I always think that's interesting when I recognize names. Now, of course, if you play fantasy football, you kind of know everybody. That kind of goes without saying. So, I thought this was going to be a Green Bay thing, but it wasn't. I mean, we got the Favre, and I believe the Reggie White in here. Yeah, but those are collector's choice. Those aren't crazy cards at all. We got the Chad Henne and the Matt Forte, among more of those. We did get Ronnie Brown, Wave of the Future, which isn't a bad one either. Let's go through these. Lots of fun ones here. So we got the Matt Forte there. The cool old Bowman. Eli, not a rookie or anything. I just sleeved it because it's Flair Showcase. The Deshaun Jackson marquee matchup. So that's that kind of rookie press pass. The fresh ink. I got to look up the pull odds on this. We'll have to maybe put that in the chat. Showcase star, Shaun Alexander. Again, not a bad one either. 2 Warren Sapp out of Classic. I really do like this one. And then we got the Refractor. Bowman's Best. So, I mean, technically it's 6, but what I'm going to do, this one kind of had the bent corner. So the Deshaun Jackson will go in here. That one will go in there. I got to keep the Warren Sapps for sure. I'm just going to keep the 5. I have to be kind of nice now when I'm opening multiple things to make sure I'm keeping 2 per, because like those Flair Showcase packs, those are not a super cheap pack, so I got to make sure to keep them. So this will still be a great lot, but I get to keep the insert. I mean, this, yeah, what a fun box. 2 Warren Sapps, the Refractor, and Auto. Man, this is the fun stuff. Again, not always the biggest players, but to me, it's finding the unique cards and the hits. And I'm going to jump off here and go look at some of the odds on pulling these inserts out of the Flair Showcase. So thanks for tuning in. I've talked enough. We'll see you guys back here tomorrow.